Thank you so much for being here tonight. And most importantly, thank you for caring about the future of New Jersey's children, families, and communities. My name is Winifred Smith Jenkins, and I am the Director of Early Childhood Policy and Advocacy at Advocates for Children of New Jersey. Before I begin, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Mary Coogan, President and CEO of ACNJ, and the entire ACNJ team for working together to make this event possible. I also want to thank the ACNJ Parent Leadership Council for pushing us to act and to act now. It is often the smallest spark that ignites the biggest change. And last, but certainly not least, a big thank you to Zadie's Early Childhood Center, led by Chelsea Smith and her incredible team for graciously hosting us tonight. I reached out just 6 days ago. I reached out just 6 days ago to ask if we could hold this event here. And without hesitation, she said yes. Now, some of you may know that she's my sister-in-law and that I once worked here. But her decision to host wasn't about that. It was because she understands firsthand what this policy change means for children, families, and the broader community. Thank you. Childcare is the most purple issue I know. In our centers, you'll find children from every race, political background, and socioeconomic status. But what every family wants is the same: a safe, enriching place to leave their child. This is true for summer and wraparound programs, and it's true for our public schools. It's a shame that these essential services, so deeply tied to our local, state, and federal economic stability, aren't all funded as public goods. But let me be clear. ACNJ fought hard to ensure New Jersey's Child Care Assistance Program, many of you may know it as CCAP, others the subsidy program, received the funding it needed in this year's state budget. Before the budget was finalized, ACNJ met with and informed members of both the Senate and the Assembly Budget Committee about the very real consequences of a $30 million shortfall. We submitted testimony, we organized advocates, we shared stories from childcare providers and families. We made the case that this was about economic stability, family survival, and ensuring every child had the opportunity to thrive. To their credit, lawmakers responded. The final budget included an $80 million increase for CCAP. This is not insignificant. It was just enough to keep serving about 70,000 children ages 0 to 13 who were already enrolled in the program. It was enough to keep the application window open through tomorrow and remain available to support any new foster children or families receiving TANF benefits. But here's the truth. That increase wasn't enough. It fell $30 million short of what was actually needed to keep the program open beyond August 1st to new families and allow current families to add additional children. It also wasn't enough to avoid increased copayments for many families, copays that could now rise to 6% of a family's income. So now, as of August 1st, here we are. Families not already in the program cannot apply. Families currently receiving help cannot add their child. And families facing renewal may be hit with higher copays. Let's be honest, that's a blow to working parents, to childcare providers, and to the children who deserve a safe, stable, enriching care. But unlike elections, where the results are final, even though the budget has been signed, we still have an opportunity to act. Fortunately, the state has a $6.7 billion surplus we can draw from to address this crisis. Now is the time to advocate for a supplemental funding bill to close the $30 million gap. It's up to us to urge our lawmakers to prioritize CCAP, not only in the next year's budget, but right now, as families are already experiencing real and immediate consequences. So tonight, I'm asking each of you not just to be informed, but to be engaged. Call your assembly members, email your senators, tell them what this means to your family, your centers, your neighborhood. Because this isn't just about dollars, it's about the infrastructure of opportunity that allows families to work, supports our economy, and gives kids a fair shot. We've seen what we can accomplish when we speak with one voice. Now we need to do it again, louder, stronger, and with stories that move hearts and change minds. And let me be clear, this is not just a problem for families who need assistance. When centers close, when summer programs shut down, when wraparound care disappears, the impact for all families in a community, not just those receiving subsidies, is real. It reduces options, it strains the entire system, and it puts pressure on working parents everywhere. When the system falters, the effects ripple outward, hurting businesses, weakening local economies, and destabilizing the very foundation working families rely on. That's why this fight isn't just about subsidies. It's about keeping communities strong. It's about ensuring that every child, regardless of their family's income, has access to the care and support they need to thrive. Together, we can get this done. So tonight, we're bringing together voices from across the early childhood community, advocates, providers, parents, because we know it takes all of us to create the kind of system that families need. First, you'll hear from two organizations that work every day to strengthen the care and education systems families depend on, NJAEYC and NJSAC. Each will share how these recent policy changes are affecting children, families, and providers statewide. Then we'll turn the mic over to childcare providers and parents whose lived experience bring these issues to life in ways that numbers alone never can. And finally, we'll close out this evening by hearing remarks from a couple of our elected officials, followed by Deb Lancaster, co-founder of the First 1,000 Days Policy Coalition, who will talk about the ways to stay engaged. So let's get started. It is my pleasure to introduce my partner in the childcare fight, our first speaker, Megan Tavermina, Director of Public Policy and Advocacy for New Jersey Association for the Education of Young Children. NJAEYC is a leading voice for early childhood educators across New Jersey, and Megan has been a tireless advocate for raising standards and improving access. But what she is best known for is advocating for educators to get respect, compensation, and professional benefits that they deserve. Please join me in welcoming Megan.